Now, think about this. The president today, going to collapse the Department of Education. That, whether you support it or not, it's a big move. I was on the phone yesterday with Zelensky, the day before with Vladimir Putin. By the way, he's also trying to have a major meeting with energy sources to try to amp what's going on with our energy production. First time in 4 years, people have gone to the White House from natural gas and oil companies in order to meet to talk about moving forward. All this leads to one thing. This is the president of the United States on hyperspeed to accomplish a myriad of things. And you wonder how the American people are receiving some of the things he's doing at the speed in which he's executing. According to this poll, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Republican.
Yeah, Hazel, what are these poll numbers we got?
So look at that. It says, Lawrence, that out of all voters that Fox News polled, 49% approve of Donald Trump. That matches his high from April of 2020. And the high marks are among women and black voters and voters under the age of 30. Look at the Republican number. 92% of Republicans approve.
And about 4 in 10 independents. Here's what's going on, though. Take a look at, we've got a great graphic if you're a Republican in Congress, because they are now at an all-time high. Now, they have Republican congressional members of Congress have a 43% approval. And as you can see, back in 2013, it was 20%. So it has doubled. 88% of the, one of the reasons is because 88% of Republicans are backing the Republican Party today, as opposed to a couple of years ago when only about half of Republicans backed the party. And so that's all good news.
And when you look at the party of resistance, the Democratic Party, only 30% approve right now. And that's dropping drastically, because in January 2023, it was at 42%. And it keeps going down and down. When it comes to the disapproval, now 66% disapprove of the job that they're doing. And I think what that gets to is that they become the party of the resistance, and they're not working at all. They're not trying to work with the president. They did not stand for the kid with cancer. They did not stand for the parents that lost their children to illegals. They're not even turning over the illegals to the police right now. They're against the flight. Everything that this president is doing right now, they're not offering any type of solutions. And I think the media has lost their influence completely. They lied to him about Joe Biden, his mental decline. They lied to them about the issues on a day-to-day basis. They said that the inflation was transitory and the people were feeling it at home. So they're not listening to them. The president is speaking to the American public on a day-to-day basis, and it looks like he has the wind in his sails right now.
When you look at it, and you should go to foxnews.com and read it, because it's a really interesting thing. The one thing that people across the board, about 70, given the fact that he has already signed, and we were talking about abolishing the Department of Education with an executive order later today, he signed about 90 of them. About 70% of all Americans, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, are concerned that some of these EOs may permanently alter the system of checks and balances with Donald Trump. That is, however, similar to what Barack Obama had ratings-wise, 38%, I believe it was, something like that, back in 2014 regarding Obamacare and things like that. So it's one of those things where people are, approving of the president in bigger numbers than ever before for Donald Trump. But there's a caveat. They worry, don't go too far.
Yeah, you're right, Lawrence, about the legacy media. I mean, if you flipped around channels during the election, they weren't reporting positive news about Donald Trump. We saw that censorship on social media. And Laura Ingraham said the other night she was flipping around channels, and one news agency didn't even have the astronauts coming home live.
American story.
So, exactly. And that's why some of these big networks are laying off their anchors that are making a lot of money, because it's a business. They're not making money anymore. People are turning off their TVs. You want to hear all sides of the story, right? So they weren't telling the positive stories of Donald Trump, thinking it was going to affect the election, but America was smarter.
Right, because they're on the wrong side of so many issues. I watched the mayor of Boston yesterday.
Unbelievable, right?
Prideful she is that she's protecting illegal immigrants, including criminals.
She's doubling down.
Yeah, she's like, we like our coffee strong and we stand. What are you talking about? Right. So, okay, that's how you stand. I don't think the American people want illegal criminals there. So now it's really judge fair. The only people standing in the president's way are these judges, and they're hand-picked liberal judges who are going on party lines. They're activists, and the president is not overreacting. I got to give him credit. I watch him sitting with Laura Ingraham, And they're talking about all these cases that are not going his way or on pause. He goes, we're going to work our way through it.
Yeah.
Where 4 years ago, it was this
He would
guy
go
would
after
stop.
him.
And he's never said, I'm going to ignore the judge order, the court order. They're like begging him to. And he's like, not going to. We're going to work our way through the system.
Because they are we have three co-equal branches of government. And so he's going to let it play out.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.